guys, welcome back to my channel. There's going to be two intros here now because I filmed the first part of this video when I was actually in New York and I'm filming the rest of it now. Sorry, my glasses have a weird shine on them. So I filmed the first part of this video in New York and now this is just me in that part of Christmas where you don't know what day it is, what year you're in, you're in the same clothes from about a week ago and you woke up at 3 o'clock. So that is the vibe that I'm here with at the moment. Actually, there's three intros in this. The first intro that you just saw, my graphic intro, is made by a girl called Mia. She has her own business called Take the Risk Family, and she makes like social media content for businesses and like bloggers and YouTubers and stuff. So she has made all these amazing graphics that you can see because I'm really focusing on YouTube. YouTube is going to be like my 2020 goal. I absolutely love Instagram, so if you are someone who's just after finding me on YouTube, make sure you check me out on Instagram. And if you're someone who found me from Instagram, please do subscribe to my YouTube because this is where I'm really planning on doing my videos for like fashion hauls, makeup. Like I will be doing some IGTVs and stuff, but I just want to get into something new for the new year. And I think YouTube is something that's like going to be there forever. YouTube is the first like platform that I started watching when I got my first laptop like 100 years ago. So yeah, I just really want to get into it, and of course because of my love for David Dobrik, I just got influenced straight away. But anyway, I'll play the clips that I filmed in New York first, so they'll be in here, and then I have a list of the things that I forgot, so roll the clips. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually still in New York now. I didn't think I'd be filming this video this soon, but I thought while I'm here, everything's fresh in my brain, that I would do my everything you need to know about New York. Now, I am by no means an expert considering I was here a week and there's so much things I didn't do, there's so many things I didn't see, but there's a lot of things that I learned as well, and there's some things that I was prepared for and it was a good thing that I was prepared for it, and there's other things that if I came back again I would do differently. So let's start with the very first thing about going to New York is the flight. So the flight is quite long. You can go direct from Shannon, I think, with Aer Lingus, and we went with United Airways or United Airlines from Dublin to Newark. So Newark is another airport in New York. It's not JFK is more central, I think. Newark is a little bit closer to New Jersey. That's actually where we're staying, and I'll talk about where we're staying as well in a while. So yeah, we flew from Dublin to Newark, and the flight and everything was grand. It actually kind of flew by, but I think that upgrading the night before, even just to economy plus, was the best thing I did. Now this is something I definitely want to stress. Look at the flight map or the flight seating plan when you're booking your seat, because it's all about being kind of strategic. So I was sitting at the very front of economy plus in row 30 in the very center aisle. So on these big flights you have first class, business class, premium, economy plus, economy, and yeah, and kind of basic economy then is like near at the back. So when you get onto the plane, the seats in the front row of each section have the most amount of leg room. So I'm not sure actually about the very back because I didn't see there. I only saw the sections in front of me. But in my section in economy plus, I was sitting in the very front row and I had literally so much leg room because there was no seat in front of me. Do you know what I mean? It was just like so much room, and then like a border kind of separating the two sections that had a TV on it, but I had my own personal TV then that came out onto my lap, which was really cool. And the seats behind me didn't have that then, I don't think. No, yeah, they didn't. They had TVs in the seat in front of them. It doesn't make a huge difference. I just thought it was kind of cool that it like folded out or whatever. But I feel like I definitely had like one of the best seats in the entire plane. The second reason why I think this is because, like I was saying, the plane is huge, so it's into like different rows. It's not just like the left hand side and the right hand side with 3 and 3. So you have that side with window, middle aisle, and then you have another center row. I'll put a picture in here somewhere. So then in the center row, this is where I was on the furthest out corner, which was D, and then there was a middle seat and another one. I was really lucky there was actually no one in the middle seat. But the great thing about being in this front row of the section is if you need to squash out to go to the toilet, like, you don't need to squash over anyone because there's so much room in front of you. You literally just walk forward. So even if you're in the middle, you can kind of like, obviously still you have to like kind of squash by someone or whatever, but in my row, which I was so lucky about. This guy, get the middle row. If you're at either, like the middle or the whatever the other aisle, there's like there's two more aisles on the either side, so you could just get out without having to squash by anyone. So definitely going the very, very middle aisle is the way ahead, I think. And yeah, so then the next thing I noticed is in Economy Plus, it's an extra bit of money for extra legroom. And I thought at the start that everyone in Economy Plus had like a whole load of legroom, but it's just like a little bit extra. So I think it's only about 7 inches extra than basic economy. Now it's still good because it's still a difference, like but I would book that earlier, you know, to get it a little bit cheaper, because like I booked mine the night before, so it was really expensive. It was 250 like both ways, so it was like cheaper going over and it was more expensive coming back. But even some of the people sitting behind me, like in Economy Plus, paid more, because I was looking at it and they didn't have as much legroom as me. So it's really about being kind of savvy with like where you're sitting and stuff. So the very, very front, in between the opposite section, so let's say there's premium here, premium ends, I was in the first row then, so that I had loads of room. So definitely row 30 is the way ahead, or else if you were in a premium, the very first row of premium had a good amount of legroom. But actually I don't think it had as much legroom as me, but then their chairs went like fully back into like nearly beds. I thought mine did that, but it actually didn't. But it was a bigger, comfier seat. And I was lucky, I was able to just like stick my legs out and kind of balance them on the wall. But definitely well worth your while upgrading. And if you are, try get to the front row. Now if you can't, like if you're like in the middle of Economy Plus or Premium, like it's obviously still better, you still have more room. Premium is fab, the big seats and stuff, but there's not like a huge amount of room if you're in, let's say, the seats going back. So definitely just book it earlier so it's not as expensive, because it is worth your while. But just to know that it's not the same the whole way back, you know. But no, I really thought it was worth my while now doing that, and I'm delighted. I like checked in last night and I was like, yes, I'm in the same section going back, but I'm not in the same seat and I'm not in the middle aisle. So I'll tell you how I get on with that going home, because I'm going to be over on this side, but I still have all the room, so it's grand. I think there's people sitting on either side of me, so it won't be as comfy as the way over, because on the way over I was literally like this at one stage because there was no one next to me. I was literally in a ball like this trying to get some sleep, but I couldn't sleep at all. That wasn't because the plane wasn't comfy or anything. It was just because I can't sleep on planes because I don't know, I can't. The next thing about the plane is it was actually really cold. But that, again, I said it to my dad, it's not like the plane's fault. It's because when you're flying from Dublin to America, you go over like the Atlantic, and on my little iPad that I could pull out, you can see like how cold it is outside of the cabin, like in the air. And at one stage it was like -75, so obviously it's going to be like coming into the plane a little bit. I don't think there's heating on planes for some reason. Maybe someone can let me know why not. It's probably because you have to like keep kind of recycling the air, and they need to be like cold and fresh. But it was freezing at one stage. It wasn't cold the whole way over. At the very start and the very end, like as we're taking off and landing in the first like half an hour to an hour, was actually grand. But when we were like mid-flight, it was very cold. So just be prepared for it. Like it's not like unbearable, but I just wasn't prepared for it. So now on the way home I am prepared for it. I'm wearing this. I couldn't find tracksuit pants anywhere, so I still have on my leather pants, but I have my thermal leggings and my thermal vest in my hand luggage, so I'm going to throw them on when I get to the plane. I'm not going to wear them beforehand because going through the airport and security and stuff is like stressful, you know, and the sweat be pouring off you then. So I'm going to throw them on when I get onto the plane, and then it'll warm me up lovely. And I have my fluffy blanket too that I actually can't forget. It's hidden under the bed somewhere. But yeah, just being prepared for it is all you need. Then the in-flight entertainment, cannot recommend enough. The Wi-Fi is only $10 for the whole flight. So like, I'm sure today going home it's like 8.5 hours, a tenner. Someone told me that it was a €12 per hour and I was going to pay that. Like, I know that would have been expensive, but like I was willing to do it. And the Wi-Fi is faster than the Wi-Fi in college, faster than the Wi-Fi in my house. It is unbelievable. Like, you could do everything on it. The only thing that didn't work for me was Spotify, but they did say that when you signed up that some of the streaming things for music and videos don't work, so maybe you are better off having like your Netflix and stuff downloaded. I didn't even go on that. I was just on Snapchat or Instagram. I was doing a fucking Q&A, and like they were just going up so well, and I was doing emails and stuff. And then I was actually able to listen to music on the little iPad thing that they pull out. They have Vivo, you know, it's like YouTube, so you can literally just type in like this playlist. So I just stuck in my earphones then. I was just like listening to the music, but like it didn't, with the Wi-Fi, maybe that's why the flight flew so fast, because like I would easily spend, as much as I hate to admit it, I would literally sit in my room like this for 8 hours on my phone, like, so it flew by for me. Today I'm like more awake now, even though the flight is at 7:30 in the evening, so I'll be awake for the start of it anyway, but it's through the night then, so I'll obviously get tired, and I will land at 7 AM in Dublin, and then I have to get the bus back to Cork, which will be kind of a bit of a trek, and then I have a masterclass when I get home, so I'm like, I can be wrecked. But sure, look, it's not the end of the world, and I'm so like grateful to be like so busy, because I'm like looking at my diary now and I'm like, January could be a quiet one, so I'm like good to be like working crazy now. I better go edit this part back in. Right, reverse. Airport. Going through the airport, so we went from Dublin Airport. Now it was my first time going to America, so I had to get an ESTA, which like allows you to come to the country. It's not really like a visa, it's just like allowing you to go to the country for like holidays and stuff. Your normal security first with everyone, then you go through US pre-clearance security, which is another round of similar security, but you just have to take off your shoes and stuff, and they might open your case and just have a more of a kind of proper route through, I suppose. And then you go down to US pre-clearance, which is like your kind of the American embassy. Now I was shocked when I saw this, because it's not like an airport. Like, you know, the way the airport is all like cool tones, like white, grey, kind of clinical feel. Like you go down here and it's like being in a courtroom. Like everything is big, broad, brown, huge flags like blowing, like these clear little kind of things. Like it feels like you're in like a courtroom or something. It's beautiful, but really intimidating. So like it's like, oh my god, like you feel like you're doing something wrong even if you're not doing something wrong, that kind of a way. But then you just go up, do your bits, like scan your finger and all that, and then you get let through. But what I would say is check in as many bags as you can. So like I had my hand luggage, I had a backpack, and then I had a crossbody bag as well. That was only tiny, that just had like my passport in it. Technically speaking, you're not meant to have that, but I just was able to, thank god. It was tiny, so I don't think they minded. I just like having my passport and my phone separate, because like I said, you have to take them out so much. So what I would recommend is check in as many bags as you can. Like obviously I checked in my ginormous one, but I had my small wheelie case, and it was just a little bit hard, like having a wheelie case, a backpack, my coat over my hand, like trying to take out your boarding pass and your passport and stuff. So what I would say, this is what I was saying on my Instagram stories about my beautiful Marc Jacobs bag that I bought. Have something really small, a bum bag, a crossbody bag, something that's really stable, a good zip on it, that's in front of you that you can see, something small, literally as small as that. Phone, money, passport, boarding pass, and that's all you need. And then you can have like maybe a rucksack on you as well, with like your laptop or your makeup or whatever you want to have. But I would have something right here with 2 hands free, so try not to be pulling something. Now I don't mind pulling cases when I'm going like to London and stuff, and you know, you literally go to Cork airport and it's a breeze and you get on the plane or whatever. But for maybe when you're doing long haul flights, I've never been on any other long haul flight, but just because there is so much like security and putting things up on the trays and stuff, you don't want to be forgetting or losing anything or giving anyone an option to pickpocket anything. So literally having your most important things in front of you, and then having the rest on your back, I think is a good call. Even though it is heavier to have them on your back, I think it's easier than dragging it next to you. Again, it depends on the person and how much other things you have in your hand. Like I had my coat and stuff because it was so hot in the airport, but definitely I would say have your hands free if you can, and just have like a bum bag or something on you then. So that's all about the airport. Oh, and give yourself loads of time. Like we got the 2 a.m. Bus, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna be way too early. Like we were in Dublin for 3, 4, 5. We were in Dublin for 5, and our flight wasn't until 9. But my god, we needed the time. Like we really did need the time. Like it takes ages to get through all this, and there's so many people. Like obviously going to New York around this time now is extra busy because people are going over to visit their families, coming home, all that jazz. But the airport was so busy, so definitely give yourself way more time than you think you need. As you know, going through the airport, like anything can go wrong. And then as well, if you want to go shopping, it's handy. Like we didn't even like get a chance to go shopping. I didn't even get a chance to buy an adapter because we were just rushing so much. But yeah, there's enough stress and tension, like I said already, and trying to mind things and keep your eyes on everything, than to be running late as well, giving you more stress and everything. So yeah, give yourself loads of time. Then bit of a flight, did all that. Then we got here and we were staying in the Premier, what's it called, Western Premier New York Gateway, and it's actually closer to New Jersey, so we were a good bit, we were far enough out from New York. Now it wasn't too bad, it was about like 30 minutes ish in an Uber, which wasn't the end of the world, but I would say the closer you can get to like New York the better, just because it'll save you money on Ubers and stuff. But obviously it can be so expensive, and places can be like booked out and stuff. But I would say try stay as close as you can to the centre. Now because we weren't, I'm not 100% sure about how, like, if it's different and stuff, like what's the story with Airbnbs and stuff. We stayed in a hotel and I got an unreal room. Like I'm sitting on the bed that I didn't use now. Like I got a really nice room, 2 queen size beds. And the hotel was lovely. The breakfast was included as well, and the breakfast was grand. It did us, like, you know, to get us started for the day. Like I'm vegetarian, so I literally just got like eggs and potatoes, like I would eat at home anyway, so I was absolutely sorted. And then we would go into town to like shoot and stuff, and I'd just get like a toasted sandwich and a cup of tea or something in a few hours later. So that was all grand. It's a lovely hotel. Then after that, then actual New York, so like shopping. It's all about like shopping, the outlets versus the stores and stuff. So the first night we went to Jersey Gardens. So it can also be called the Mills at Jersey Gardens, and this is like a huge shopping centre. And when I say huge, like you could need like a whole day and a half to get to every shop, but it's definitely worth your while. I didn't get to go shopping properly there because we were so jet lagged and wrecked, and I literally didn't even feel like I was on planet Earth when I was in there, because I was just like, but it's definitely worth your while checking out. It's a mixture between stores and outlets, so you have some things that are like full price and like expensive. So the Sephora there is like just normal prices, like you wouldn't get much like deals there or anything. Whereas then there's an Elizabeth Arden outlet, and I literally got an 8-hour cream that's usually around €35–40 for $7. So that was really good. There's a huge Victoria's Secret outlet there as well, and you can get literally like bras for $10, like perfumes for $2, tracksuit pants for $5. Like definitely go there. But again, I went in there, it's like you have to be cut out, like it's like Pennies or TK Maxx, like everyone's like rummaging through, so you definitely need to be like ready for it. And I definitely wasn't, because I was just off an 8-hour flight, so I was like, oh my god, I'm unable. Sorry, I keep moving around. I'm just like, I feel like we're having like a sleepover or something. And then, oh yeah, so then the other place I went to see, there were so many shops there, and I wanted to have a look around properly, but I just couldn't. I just wanted to get in and out. So we got some food and stuff, and then I found the Kate Spade shop, which was an outlet, so I was so lucky. But at this stage I was like, because I didn't think we were going to get to do much shopping, so I was like, even if it's on an outlet, if it's a like full price store, I'm just going to buy something, because all I wanted coming over here was a bag. I was originally looking for a Marc Jacobs camera bag, like the snapshot ones, and then in the Jersey Mall they didn't have Marc Jacobs at all, so I was like, oh my god, if this is my only chance out for the whole week to buy something, even if the Kate Spades are expensive, I'm just going to buy one, because that's what I came over here to get, was literally just one bag. So I went in, and then I realised that it was an outlet and everything was super cheap. So when you first go in, all the prices are like the recommended retail prices, so they're already cheaper than like how much you'd usually get them, but then they discount them again. So I'm not sure if they discount them again all the time, or if it was just because there was a sale on. I think it was just because there was a sale on, because if you just go in and buy them like outlet price, they're still expensive. Like you'd only be saving like $30 to $50 ish. Like it's still good if you have the option, but like there was 60 to 70% off some of the things. I got 2 medium-sized good bags, like for one of them was more expensive and one of them was cheaper, but they came to 300 together. So I was like, wow, that's nearly like $150 each. Like that's unbelievable. That's $150, so that's about €120 like for a real Kate Spade like good size bag. But then I went to Then I was on the hunt for my Marc Jacobs because I was like, oh, that was a steal, that doesn't even count. And I had money as well. My dad gave me money this as my Christmas present for here, so he was like, these are your early Christmas presents, so when you wake up Christmas morning, like, we'll just have to wrap up those bags and put a bow on them because they're your presents, like. So they were my presents, so I got them. So then I was like, I haven't gotten anything for like myself, like I still had money left over and stuff, so I wanted to get something for myself. So I was like, right, I'll go to the Marc Jacobs outlet. So I looked up Marc Jacobs outlet, places to get like cheaper Marc Jacobs, well, not alternatives, real bags, but like cheaper kind of ones like last season and stuff. Sometimes you can just get lucky, and loads of these sent me stuff. Erika Retro Flame actually was doing a collaboration with Bloomingdale's, the outlet, and she said there was like some fab Marc Jacobs and Kate Spade's there, so we went over there. But by the time we got there, all the Marc Jacobs are gone, so people clearly saw her story and went over. They had loads of Furla, which were divine, Valentino, Karl Lagerfeld, loads of Kate Spade, Michael Kors, they loads there, but they didn't have Marc Jacobs. So then after that we went to Macy's, and then they had the bag, but they only had the one that was on show and it was filthy, so I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. And then I went to Nordstrom and got it, but it was full price. It was $350 with tax, which is expensive like for a bag of this size. But yeah, then I was kicking myself. I was like, oh my god, I could have got it cheap from Brown Thomas, but it's actually not in Brown Thomas. It's only Nordstrom and Net-a-Porter, I think. So at least that much. So and it was a little bit cheaper than when I transferred into Euro. But I just wanted something. I just wanted to get something to like mark the occasion of being in New York and stuff. So but if I went to the Woodbury, what's it called, Woodsbury outlet, that's like the huge Kildare Village, and they have a Marc Jacobs outlet there. So if you are coming over specifically for shopping, like, make out a plan, go to all the outlets. And there's loads of them. Century 21 is kind of all over the place too. There's one of them in the Jersey Mall, but there's some like just scattered around the place too, and they have designer bags for cheaper as well. They have Marc Jacobs, Kate Spade, loads of brands, Michael Kors, Chanel, I think. No, not Chanel, there was another brand, I can't remember the name of it. They had nearly everything, like, so that's another good place to check. But definitely if you're coming and you want to do a good bit of damage to the bank account and go for a proper shop, go to definitely the Jersey Mall outlet, or Jersey Mall shopping centre, and the Woodsbury Gardens as well, because that's like Kildare Village but ginormous. I got loads of kind of mixed opinions when I put it up, for people to send them in to me. Like, some people were like, oh, don't go there, that's crap, and then other people were like, I had a great experience. So it's all down to luck, especially in outlets, because sometimes it's just one of each thing, and sometimes it's, you know, so you can get lucky or you can get unlucky. So it is a bit of a trek if you like, because the Woodsbury Gardens, or I keep getting them mixed up, the Woodsbury outlet place is nearly like 2 hours away from like New York, I'm sure. So you'd be kind of freaked then if you went all the way down there and they didn't have anything and nearly end up buying something for the sake of it. That's what I did for this. I went to Zoomies to get something for my brother and they didn't have what they wanted, so I was like, after all the trekking down here, I'm going to get something. So I ended up getting this for myself. I actually love it, but it was like $65. Like, I would never pay that. Right guys, so where that just cut off, it was talking about going shopping and stuff. Like I said, there's a huge difference between shops and outlets over there, so it's really important to know which one you're going to. Usually it actually will say outlet underneath, but outlets usually have like old stock, last season stuff, whereas shops will have like the brand new things that'll come in like the box and everything, and the dust bag. Some outlets will still do that. Like when I got my Kate Spade, when it came in like a Kate Spade bag and stuff, but it depends, because if you went to Century 21 then you would get like a Century 21 bag. So it's just about knowing the difference. But they're like the main places to go, especially for designer things. I don't think there's any like outlets, more or less, not that I saw anyway. If you Google it, it'll all come up. Like, you know, the way we have the Nike outlet here, I don't think they have like outlets for like normal shops. Well, they have Victoria's Secret, but I don't think they have like a H&M outlet or anything, you know, but they're cheap enough anyway. This brings me to the next point, which is about money and stuff. So people are asking, how much money do you need for over there? So money always depends on like yourself, your own kind of lifestyle. If you want to like do everything like bad and bougie, if you want to go mad shopping, or if you literally just want to like survive. Now I'm not 100% sure of the flights and hotels and stuff because I was put up by the brand, but when I did pay to get my seat upgraded and I only moved up 10 seats, it was €250 in total return, which is a bit pricey considering I already had a seat. Like that was literally just to move up 10 rows, so just take that into consideration. But it was with United Airways. I think they're meant to be like affordable airline, so not too expensive. But then again, I was like looking when I was choosing my seat, if you want to go first class it's like €2,500, but I think that like for an 8-hour flight it's probably like reasonable enough for the rest of the seats. It's probably like €500 plus. Again, it was my first time going to New York, so I'm not 100% sure about that. Like I said, it was my very first time and we didn't get to do a whole lot of like touristy things. I didn't get to see everything I wanted to see and stuff, but there's a few accounts that I follow and that have YouTube videos on it, and some people have Instagram like highlights dedicated. So if you want to know more about New York, Zoe and Alfie Days were actually there when I was there, and they like were there doing more touristy things, so they have loads on their vlogs and on their Instagram too, so you can check them out. Louise Cooney and Erika Kaylin Fox live there. They're like all Irish bloggers, YouTubers, and they have loads about New York, like where to go, where to eat, places to shop. So if you check out their YouTube and their Instagram, you'll find loads. And also Sheldon, I absolutely adore her. She's one of the first people I started following on Instagram and YouTube. She has loads about New York on her Instagram and her YouTube. I'm sure she actually has an everything to know about your trip to New York video, so I'll link everyone there below, because I think that is really helpful to see it from different people's point of views. Because like obviously when Sheldon went there, I think she just went like on a shopping holiday. The other girls, Louise, Erika and Kaylin, live there and work there, so they'll have a different kind of take on it. And then I was just there for a week, so it's a little bit different everywhere. So in regards to money, literally it'll completely like depend. It is expensive over there, so bring more than like if you were going to a normal trip, but you don't need to bring a fortune either. Just be careful when you're using your card. There's a, how do you say, there's a fee for using your card in another country, and then you have your like currency change fee as well. So a Revolut card is probably a good idea. If I had a Revolut code I would put it below, but I actually don't. I need to apply for a Revolut card myself actually. But again, it completely depends on like what you're going to do, what you want to spend. Like food, like dollars is cheaper than euro when you convert it back, but then everything's a lot more expensive. So like you could get like a cup of tea for like $7 or something, you know. So it is more expensive. And what else did I see? Like clothes and stuff is kind of the same, but I remember Kaylin and Erika putting up on their page before saying that Zara over here is way cheaper than over there. So don't buy things that you can buy here over there, because sometimes there can be a change. Like I would only, it's the same when I go to London, like I would never spend like sterling that's more expensive in like H&M over there unless they had something specifically that I knew they didn't have here. So that's another thing for when you're making out your like itinerary for the day. If you want to go shopping, just make places that we don't have here your priority, rather than like spending hours in like River Island and H&M and stuff when they're literally near you. Do you know what I mean? So I would just go to like, well, like Victoria's Secret is in Dublin, but you know what I mean, just the place that you can't get here. I even thought that when I got my Marc Jacobs bag, I was like, I could have got this in Burn Thomas, but it actually wasn't in Burn Thomas. But anyway, just I would take advantage of the things that we don't have here. Another thing is bring another bag if you are going shopping, so like an empty case, because when I was going back I was trying to squash everything in and it was overweight, and they actually don't let you pay for overweight things anymore. Maybe it was just the flight that I was on, maybe it's a new rule. Like, you know, usually you just like pay a penalty fee for being overweight. I actually had to take them out, so I was able to move them to other people's cases that I was with, so I was lucky. But if you were on your own, you genuinely have to throw them out, which is a balls. So be careful with that. Have another bag checked in for the way back. And again, what I talked about in the earlier clips, checking your bags is essential, because going home is the same. You're like going through all different firms of security, it's stressful, everyone's in a rush, you don't want to be losing anything. Shopping, customs. So there's actually I'm not 100% sure now, because seen this online, but when we were going back they never asked it of us, and I didn't buy that much anyway. But there is meant to be like a customs kind of a charge, a certain amount that you're only allowed to bring back in regards to clothes as well as like everything else. So do check that out if you are going on a huge shopping spree. I remember my friends from years ago who used to go to America be like, just cut off all the tags, like wash them a few times, it makes them look grand, it makes them look like they're your own. But I'm not 100% sure about that, so just be careful if you are going shopping and you want to like go mad, and if you're like bringing home a second suitcase. So they might not be that strict about it, it might be something that's years old, because obviously people go to New York to spend a lot of money and do a lot of shopping, but just double check, or else maybe you just need to declare it. Again, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't spend that much money. How much can you bring back? Yeah, that's another thing I've done here. I actually don't know how much you can bring back, but you are able to get tax back on things. If you're in a shop buying something, you can ask for like a tax back receipt kind of a thing, and you can bring that to the airport then and get the tax back on it, because this is the thing you need to be super careful of in New York is they add the tax on afterwards. So when I was buying my bag, I was like, oh yeah, it's actually grand, it's cheaper than if I was buying online, and then I went up and they had the tax on, and I was like, oh my god, I got fleeced. So just keep that in mind, that the tax goes on afterwards. It's not like here where you see the price and it's all together, but you can get the tax back sometimes. I didn't end up getting it back on my bags because we were in such a rush and stuff, but then again, if you're going to show them everything you've bought to get your tax back, they might be like, well, you're after buying too much anyway. So just figure all that out first yourselves. ESTA is, I think I talked about this in the last few clips, and ESTA is like just like kind of a visitor's visa. Like it's not like an actual visa, but it's just what you go get for going on like a short trip to America, and that's only €14 or $14, and you do that online, and it just allows you like into the country for a while. So a lot of people are asking about that, like do you need a visa or whatever, not just to go over for a small while like shopping or whatever. So that is what we got. Then another question that I got asked was, would I ever move there? And the answer is no, I would not move there. It's just so overwhelming. Like it's such a good place for opportunity, especially for the job that I'm in. So much going on there, but you got to think, in a bigger place and more opportunity, there's also more people, and that's not even something that would turn me off. Like I don't mind that there'd be like, obviously it'd be so much harder, especially for a job like vlogging where it's not as stable, but yeah, it is like you're like a tiny fish in a huge pond as opposed to the other way around. But I just found it was really overwhelming over there, like really busy. I was so anxious at one stage because there was like fire brigades and like roads closed, and like the cops over there with like big machine guns, and like my brain just flips to overdrive, being like, they're here because something bad has happened, when in reality they're there just to keep the place under control and prevent anything bad from happening. But I just had in my head that like, oh, something's going on, because you know when you're in Ireland, if you see like roads closed, fire brigades, guards, it means something bad has already happened, whereas over there I think they do it as a means of like more like prevention. But I was just like, my hairs were standing up my arms. We also went to see the 9/11 Ground Zero Memorial, and it was like really amazing to see, but also really like eerie. Like we went on a day where the clouds are really low, like you couldn't even see the sky. Like it was an amazing thing to go and pay your respects to, but oh my god, I was shook after it. Like I'm glad I didn't go like at the very start or the very end, because I would have been like up the walls, but we went in the middle, so I had a bit of time to kind of get it off my mind before I was going back home. But it is definitely something I'd recommend to see, but it's very sad. Like, and then there's a museum there too that I absolutely just could not have went to because I would have been bawling. But apparently it's like actual video of like live footage of what was happening inside the towers, and there's like leftover belongings to people. Like that would just be too much for me. But I've heard people, I met up with a girl who was there, and she said it's absolutely amazing, but like it's really sad obviously, but I couldn't do it. But it's meant to be an amazing thing to see if you are if you want to go over and see more kind of like historical things. Then in regards to like touristy spots, we didn't get to see everything because we were going to places to shoot. Like obviously we got like some main places in, but again, wherever there was loads of people, like we couldn't really shoot, and everything's really far away too, you know. Like when you're in Cork, you're like, oh, let's go there for a while, go here for a while, or even like Dublin or London, it's like a little bit easier. But like New York is so big that like you need to make a plan at the start of the day. You need to make like an itinerary, be like, all these things and all these shops are together, we'll do this one day, we'll do this another day, we'll do this another day. But like the places we did see was the High Line. That was amazing for like pictures and stuff. Now that's not really like a touristy place. It's nice to go for like a walk, and you came out the other side by an amazing shopping centre actually. Sure, I can't remember the name of the shopping centre now. Oh god, I'll try to find out and I'll write it in here somewhere. It's literally you walk over the whole of the High Line, and then you come out at this other side, and there's like this big rose gold kind of monument, and then across from that it's a huge shopping centre. I think it was oh, that was the place that we went to when we went in there. There's like this little Spanish underground markety place. It was so cool with like churros, and there was like a bar called Barcelona, and really good vibes. It was absolutely packed, really cool. It was called the Little Spanish Mercado or something. Again, I'll write the proper name here, but that was in that shopping centre. And then we went to another shopping centre too, actually, that had loads of stuff. Sure, I can't remember the names of any of them. That one was by Central Park. Again, I'll put the name in here. So we went in literally to get food in those places, or like for me to get changed and stuff into my next outfit, so I didn't get to see the actual shops, but they're all huge, so a good place to go if you are looking for shops. So every shop as well has like a mixture between high-end and high street things, so it's not like you have to kind of say, oh, this place only has like H&M, whatever. I just keep saying H&M because I saw them everywhere. Or like you don't have to go to a specific place for like designer shops. In most of them big malls and stuff, and most of the streets will have a mix. Then I think down by Times Square there was a mix as well, but it was more, there is one street especially with all kind of designer shops, but then again they're like the boutique ones, they're super like expensive, like they're the ones that have just come out, and that's the same in like Macy's, Bloomingdale's and all those places. They're like the high end, like just after being released designer bags and stuff, so they are the most expensive. One place that we did go to and it was amazing was Grimaldi's. It's like one of the best pizza places in New York, and we had to queue for about 20 minutes, but it was well worth it. It was really nice. Oh yeah, back to the things to see. So I saw the Statue of Liberty from really far away. I would have loved to seen that up close because that was really cool. Like even when you were landing into the airport, you could see that. It was just insane. That was one thing as well, you know, when you're landing into like Cork Airport or something, you just see like green everywhere. When you're landing into New York, it's like literally a movie, like all the high-rise buildings, kind of grey landscape. It's really cool. But yeah, I wish I saw the Empire State, or not the Empire State, Statue of Liberty from like up closer. There is like a free little ferry that you can get out to it, because it's actually like in the middle of the water. It's on an island, so if you want to see it like up close, you can get on this little ferry boat, and that actually is free as far as I know, to go out and see it. We did go to see like High Line, like I was saying, Brooklyn Bridge, Times Square. Times Square isn't that great, it's a bit of a letdown. It's like, is this everything? Like Piccadilly Circus and stuff in London is much nicer, but it's still nice to see. I think if you're going to Times Square and you actually want to see it like in its glory, go at night time when it's more done up. Like it's really cool, but it's just like, I thought it would be more. I much preferred the whole like Brooklyn Dumbo area down by the bridge, and that's where Grimaldi's was as well. That's way more like chilled, kind of like, you know, that brown rusty kind of vibe, that's down there, whereas like Times Square is kind of like the tacky bright lights and stuff. What else did we see? Oh, the Oculus, definitely go there for shopping. That's by the 9/11 grounds as well. That's like a huge shopping centre, and it's like in the shape of like a whale's tail. It's really cool, and that's unbelievable on the inside. Really nice things. They had like a whole Christmas market there as well when we were there. That's another really nice place to go to for shopping. See all of the like touristy places, I'm like, well, what else is there? Is that everything? It's nearly like the hidden gems are the better ones to see, like how would you say, like the things that you just could find by accident, as opposed to like when we went to Times Square, we just saw like those famous red steps and then like a queue for 2 hours, and you have to pay as well to get a picture there, and it's just like the stairs don't go anywhere, so we were like, what is this about? Whereas then we went to like places, just like random streets and stuff, and got amazing pictures there. Again, we were there with the priority of like pictures, so if you're going there for like shopping, you'd be like on the hunt for shops and stuff. But I think that I nearly covered everything there now, to be honest. Let me see. Yeah, I think we actually nearly did. If you are going over there for pictures and stuff, definitely go to like the places I mentioned, but then again you have to realise that it's like, you know, in Cork you could be like on a busy street, you're like, okay, I'll just wait, and everyone will walk by and then you can get your picture, it's grand. In New York it's like everyone is keep going non-stop, so you just need to accept the fact that there will be people in the background of your pictures, unless you go down by that like Brooklyn Dumbo area. It's a little bit more quiet down there, and yeah, you can get really fab pictures there. But yeah, I think that's actually everything that I have written down. I'm probably forgetting things now when I'll upload this. I'll be like, fuck, I forgot this, I forgot that. But like I said, I was only there for just under a week, and I was there like doing shoots and stuff, so I didn't get to see everything. I didn't get to like go shopping everywhere. But that is what I saw and what I got to do and what I learned. Like I said, the girls who I mentioned a while ago know a lot more about the whole area, so if you want to go follow them and ask them any questions or watch their videos, I'm sure it'll be a lot more help. But I hope you did enjoy this, and now you're going to see the outro that Mia made for me. This is just going to be the start of my YouTube videos. There's going to be so many more coming. So make sure to definitely subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, because there's so much coming. If you comment below as well what you are looking for, I have a big list in this famous notebook of things that I am planning on shooting. But if there's anything at all that you're like, oh, I'd love to see that on YouTube, I think I'm going to do like talking makeup videos here too, actually, so I can go through exactly how I do things. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was of help, and I'll see you in the next one.